right. We're up and running and on time. Wow. That's crazy. Let's see who shows up. 14 people. Nicely done. Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? I have two little technical things to start up. Not sure how our sound is running today. Looks like... Okay. We're live. Got to lower this. Test. All right. That should work. And boom. That's better. All right. How's everybody doing today? Seeing 10 people. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Rohit. Chat's working today. That's nice. It wasn't working the other night for reasons I have no clue on. Good morning, Ankush. Or good afternoon, sorry. All right, getting set up. I'm not really sure what our sound is looking like today. I do have a bigger monitor and a better setup, so let's see if this works. We're going to go back here. Sorry about the close-up. That should be better. Gotta get my chair out of the way. This is the bad kid chair. This is where you sit if you're in trouble. All right. I noticed that 8 or 10 people had the YouTube channel queued up to go, so that when I went live, I immediately had 10 people in the channel. That's fantastic. Thank you very much. We're up to about 15 people. I'm going to pick up a different device so that I can read the chat. Let's see if I can do this. All right. This might or might not work. We'll see. There's an awful lot of technology going on in this room. I'm going to show you in just a second. There we go. All right. See if I can get the live feed. Probably not. Yes, I can. How do you like that? All right. Ennis is in the house. Mirage is in the house. Good morning, Ryan. Or good afternoon, sorry. I'm having a slow day. Okay. That gives me a way of checking the chat without sticking my face in the computer. That's good. So let's get dressed up and ready. 5 minutes, not bad at all. Okay. I have to remember to look at the camera, which is right there, because I have a really big monitor right behind it. Let's see, just so I can show you guys. This is our tech setup. And you can see there's a delay on the video. You're going to watch that spin around. Whee! Now you can watch the monitor, watching the monitor, which is crazy. All right. But that's where I'm at right now. See 17 people. Good job. We're going to get started in just a second. Let's get this out of the way. One of these days, I'm going to do an online belt tying lesson. Who's up for a belt tying lesson? Oh, my phone is beeping. Let's see how that's working. Okay. Yeah, Ankush is like, wow, infinite corridor. Nice. Let's turn the sound off on this. Good day. Charlie is in the house. Good day, Mr. Thalia. How are you? That works reasonably well. All right, seems like we have everybody in the house. I'm going to make a brief chat and we'll get started. I think I'm actually going to shut down this other monitor because it's very confusing to watch yourself in the past. What I'm seeing on this monitor is what I did 3 seconds ago. That's not really going to be very helpful to me. It will be helpful later on when we do a Zoom class. I'll use the monitor then. So I'm going to shut that one down and stick with this one. Let's do this. That should work. Okay, that's better. That was getting confusing. How's my sound, everybody? Can I get a sound check? See, back here we're a little high, so we're going to come down here a little bit. Okay, that looks pretty good. How's the sound, everybody? I've been getting some complaints from this location about the sound quality, and thank you very much. Cop and Sunby in the house. Welcome. All right. I've been getting some complaints about the sound quality. So what I want to make sure people understand is sometimes what you think is my sound quality is actually your Wi-Fi. Because when I look at the recordings of the videos, the sound is fine. So I want you to be aware where you're watching this video of, try to get in a room that's got some solid Wi-Fi. Try to be aware of what else is happening in your house. If you're using your networks pretty heavily, then that's going to affect your sound quality. So let's try to be aware of that. But generally speaking, I'm going to judge by the final recordings how my sound is going. Second thing I want to mention to people is I think everybody on here, 18 people so far, are subscribed to the YouTube channel. I want to urge you to do that. And the reason I want to mention that is if you haven't already done so, just go click subscribe now. The reason I want you to do that is because I'm going to be more consistent about scheduling these YouTube live feeds, which means a day or two, or sometimes 3 or 4 days ahead of time, you're going to get that notice that a live feed has been scheduled. You're going to have the time. And if I schedule it on YouTube, then within the bounds of possibility, I'm going to have it. My schedule is not going to change. If I run into technical difficulties, I'll, of course, let people know, but that's my plan. So please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. I also want people to keep track of the messages on Remind because there's going to be a lot of Kidsafe news coming out in the next weeks. So if you get Remind texts, please, that's great. And if you need to add another number, please contact me and say, we'd rather get text at this number. Also, I would recommend, if you haven't done so already, I would recommend getting your Remind sign-in taken care of on whatever device you're using to watch these broadcasts so that you're not getting Remind here, but you're working on a PC or an iPad or something like that. So try to get those Remind messages on a device that you're going to get the alerts, especially if there's a last minute technical problem. The other night we had a technical problem where I had to stop a YouTube feed. If I have to stop a YouTube live feed, I can't restart it. I would have to send out a whole nother link. I doubt I would do that. I doubt I would want to record half a class. So if I have to stop one or if I lose my Wi-Fi, then I'm going to immediately shift to Zoom. And the way I'm going to signal that is I'm going to send that out on the Remind system. So that's what we're going to do. If there are any questions regarding what I've just said, feel free to throw them in the comments and I will see them. I want to say hi to V and J, who are just at every live feed. I think they're going to win the award for the most live feeds attended. And I want someone to remind me, maybe Charlie or somebody. Charlie seems to be the senior student. To remind me at the end that I want to talk just before I switch over to the Zoom meeting. I want to talk about our Kidsafe tournament. Okay, so let's get started. Good afternoon. My name is Sensei Chris, and I'd like to welcome you to Kidsafe Live. That's stunk. I'm going to do that again. Good afternoon. My name is Sensei Chris. I'd like to welcome you to Kidsafe Online's live stream. This is number 13, and we're going to begin, as always, at ready stance, and then we're going to shift to attention stance, and we're going to say our student code. Student code, respect, integrity, perseverance, discipline, pride. And we bow. And we're going to get our bodies moving, jogging in place. Got to get your body warmed up. Warm up your muscles and also your balance. So we're going to concentrate on some of that. Keep your feet up behind you. Good job. At least I think you're doing a good job. I have a lot of faith in you. And marching in place, knees up to the front of your body, using your hands as targets. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Last one. And double taps. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's try one more set. And let's go to triple. So we're going to go knee up, touch the ground, knee strike, and down. Knee up, touch your toe to the ground behind you, knee strike, and down. Right knee up, touch, knee strike, down. Left knee up, touch, knee strike, down. Go back into a lunge as you do this. And knee strike, and down. Let's do a longer stance, please. Knee up, touch back, and lunge. And knee strike, and down. Let's go to quad. So now we're going to do knee up, touch back, knee up, strike, thrust forward, and up, and down. So we get 4 movements. Knee up, touch, knee strike, thrust, and back, and down. So I guess it's really 6 movements. Knee up, touch, knee up, thrust, knee up, down, knee up, touch, knee up, thrust, knee up, down. Last one. Knee up, touch, knee up, thrust, knee up, and down. Feet apart. Let's get a little wider stance. Let's loosen up our upper body. You can just start by swinging your arms. Loosen up your neck as well by turning your head from side to side. All right, let's do some forward arm circles. And backwards. And let's curl our hands in fists and just elbow side to side. Let's go one way. Push it around. Switch. 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 While we're here, let's use our elbow strike set as a way to warm up our upper body. It's a little bit lower energy than punching or striking. We're going to start off, excuse me. We're going to start off in a guard position, knees slightly bent, and we're just going to start off with upwards elbow, switch, upwards elbow, switch, upwards elbow, switch, upwards elbow. Let's go cross elbow, switch, cross elbow, switch, cross elbow, cross elbow. Let's go downward elbow. So we're going over the top, over the top, over the top, over the top. Keep that elbow because we're going to do the next one with the same arm out to the side. Good. Load the other elbow, cross out to the side. Open up your chest here. Out to the side, out to the side. Same elbow. Straight back, straight back, straight back, straight back. Same elbow, the one you just struck behind you with, comes over the top, vertical, over the top, vertical, over the top, vertical, over the top, vertical. So we did 4 each. The only thing that changes is the order of which arm you start with. So let's start with our right arm, upward strike, upward strike, upward strike. Last one, upward strike. Cross, 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 cross. over, 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 over. So this is a downward elbow coming across our body. Excellent. Back elbow. You can go behind you if you want. Other side, back elbow, back elbow, back elbow. Good. Let's bring this elbow that we just brought behind us. Let's bring the other hand up front and switch straight back, straight back, straight back, straight back. And vertical downward elbow. The hand you just used to strike behind you, bring it over the top, over the top, over the top. Last one. Good. Shake out your wrists. Still working on that elbow strike set. People can tell me what you think of it. Good way to warm up your upper body though. Okay, here we go. Stretch up. Reach down, touch the ground. Feet out behind you, bridge position. Let's get our push-ups in. We're going to do descending sets. So let's start off with 10. Down, 1, down, 2, down, 3, down, 4, down, 5, down, 6, down, 7, down, 8, down, 9. Last one, 10. Take a break, knees down. Stretching out your arms. Grab behind you. I'm going to turn so you can see what I'm doing. Just grab your wrists, straighten your arms. All right. Shifting to turtle position. Hands on the ground behind you, feet on the floor in front of you, lifting your body up. Let's do double kicks. So we'll start off with snap kick and thrust kick. Right foot up, pick up spot on the ceiling, snap kick, thrust kick. Put that one down. Do not put your body down yet. Other side, snap kick, thrust kick, body foot down, snap kick, thrust kick. Put that foot down, snap kick, thrust kick, down, snap kick, thrust kick, down. If you notice, I'm going up and forward. Good. Let's add a third kick, starting off with a right foot, snap kick, thrust kick. Keep that leg extended, put your body on the ground, rolling to your left side. Now I'm going to chamber this foot behind me. I'm going to bring my hand around to guard my body. Roundhouse kick. Excellent. And we're back up. Left foot. Left foot, snap kick, thrust kick, hold that out, body on the ground, rolling to your opposite side. So this leg is on top. Roundhouse kick, and up. Triple kicks. Right foot again, snap kick, thrust kick, rolling left, roundhouse kick, and up. Left leg, snap kick, thrust kick, rolling right, roundhouse kick, and up. Time to add the fourth kick and the last thing we'll be doing in this position. So we're going to do 4 kicks with a right foot, body up, snap kick, thrust kick, rolling left, roundhouse kick, hold that kick, chamber it to your behind, lifting your body up, side kick. Good. And we can go plant that foot and back to our turtle position. And we're now going to use our left leg, snap kick, thrust kick, rolling to the right, roundhouse kick, lifting up, side kick, baby self-defense stance. There we go. All right, loosened up. Good. Let's work on some strikes. Feet apart, knees bent, fingers curled, thumb locked, chamber up. Okay, let's just work on a double strike drill just to get it in our memory. Double punch. Good. Breathe in. Same thing. Double punch. Breathe in. Double punch. Breathe in. Double punch. Okay, we're going to do 4 of the next one. Crossing your hands, chambering for a double back fist. Double back fist. Same thing again. Cross. Double back fist. Same thing. Cross. Double back fist. Last one. Double back fist. Double hammer fist. Chambering to the shoulders. Elbows point towards your target. Double hammer fist. Chamber, double hammer fist. Chamber, double hammer fist. Last one. Yeah. Good. Don't scare the dog. Stack them up. Bring them into the middle of your body. And we're going to do double vertical punches. Vertical punches. Try a little fancy move on this one. When you chamber, switch your hands. Switch. Excellent. Double punch. Switch. Double punch. Switch. Last one. Good. Hands open. Pressing hands. Scooping hands. Blade hands. Let's just do those three again. Press, scoop, blade, press, scoop, blade, press, scoop. This drill is designed, blade, so that you can do them in sets of 3. So let's do scoop, blade, ridge. Again, circle, scoop, blade, ridge. Again, scoop, blade, ridge, chop. Excellent. Let's do the last few. Corners, palms, fingers. Again, make your hands into 2 blade edges using the corners of your palm, straight down and a little bit away from your body. So when I do my blade strike, I'm not doing this. I'm going out from my body using the palms of the corners of my palm. Palm corners, palm heels, finger strike. One more time. Palm corners, palm heels, finger strike. Good time to talk about one of the things that I wanted to talk about. Okay. Shake out your hands a little bit, loosen up your shoulders while I talk. When I'm watching the videotape of myself on these live feeds, I'm noticing something really kind of interesting, which is I'm noticing the sounds that my uniform makes. Okay, excuse me. I'm noticing that when I do a proper technique, I can hear myself on the microphone. So that technique is focused, it has a beginning, it has an ending. Part of what makes that sound is the fact that I'm also chambering my technique and fully extending it and focusing it at one particular place in space. So that's what I want you to focus on. We're going to go through our basic strikes again, but this time, great question. I'm going to interrupt myself because Ankush asked a good question, and these are live feeds, so let's use that capability. Ankush asked, what's the purpose of palm corner strike? It's a difficult move to demonstrate here when I'm by myself, but I'll give you a piece of it, okay? In Wing Chun, our hands take up the center line between us and our opponent, okay? Whenever I'm doing a high line attack, I'm guarding with this lower hand, and we're practicing that motion when we do our palm corner strikes. It's hard to see what the strike might be when you do 2 at once because that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. In class, we talk about somebody grabbing both your arms and using that snapping motion to break out. So I might be grabbed, coming around someone's arm and snapping down. But there's also this piece of guarding my head with one hand and striking or guarding my body with the other hand. So palm corner strike is here. The reason we don't do a downward palm strike is because we don't want to risk bending our wrist back. I've got this chair here I'll use. So if I'm striking at a lower level target, I don't want to put my fingers in danger. I'm going to keep my hand slightly turned and just strike downward with the edge of my palm. A better way to think about it would be a deflecting strike. Okay, so that's the purpose of the palm strike. So let's get back in our horse stance. I'm going to stay a little closer to the camera and give you a slightly higher. Yes, Robin. Sensei Bobby points out that this downward palm can be used as a checking hand, which is sort of what I was talking about, where I might deflect someone's hand off the center line so that I can strike. So if you look at combination number 4, that's that same palm corner strike, but it's directed forward. No difference there, okay? Using the checking hand. Good question, good answer. Let's move forward. Let's get some strikes going, okay? I want you to focus on the, let's try that again. Let's get some strikes going. I want you to focus on focus, or in the words of the immortal Jackie Chan, your focus needs more focus. So from your chambered position, I want you to do a nice soft punch, and at the very end, I want you to snap your fist into place like it's a puzzle piece. Switch. Breathing as well. Slow, comfortable breath, and then tighten your stomach on the focus point. Yeah, yeah. Good. Next one. Back fist. Oh, excuse me. Back fist strike with our right hand. The focus point on a back fist is when your arm extends almost all the way. You're not locking your elbow, but your arm is fully extended without locking, and you're focusing on these knuckles. So I'm right here. Which is why when I do a back fist, typically it gets pulled back slightly because I tighten those muscles, and in the moment that I loosen them, my arm assumes a more natural shape. Other side, switch, back fist. Other side, switch, switch, switch. I want you to turn your feet as well. Switch, switch, switch. Good. Now let's add a step to the side. So I'm going to step to my left as I do my right back fist. Good. I'm going to pivot and step to my right as I do my left back fist. Ready? Stepping out to the side with a back fist. We're going to use our right hand, so we're stepping out to our left. Again. 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 Let's start from a guard. Last one. Yeah. Excellent. If you notice, there's that moment of focus, and then I come back to a guard. Fantastic. All right. We did punch. We did back fist. Don't want to do hammer fist. Don't want to do vertical punch today. Do want to do a little bit more knife hand block work. We've been working a lot on knife hand block. And here's where that checking hand that Sensei Bobby was talking about might come in. So we're going to do knife hand blocks, but we're going to do them with a slightly different motion. I think probably you can come down a little bit. Excellent. So now I'm in the frame with a step. Good. All right. So start off in a neutral stance, turning your left leg out. Do a cat stance. As you do that cat stance, load your left knife hand block. Excellent. As you push your foot forward onto the ground, you're going to throw your knife hand block. Good. Cat stance, knife hand block. Cat stance, knife hand block. Now, I've been exaggerating that forward motion with my body. I really want my foot to move forward, but I don't want my body to move forward. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see what I mean. Cat stance. My weight is above this rear foot. As I push my foot out, my body actually sinks. Knife hand block. So cat, knife hand. I might move forward an inch or two, but not nearly as far as my foot is moving forward. Cat, knife hand. Cat, knife hand. And again, I want to hear two focus points. One is here, and one is here. Good. I think I might stay in this position. It's much easier to see what my hands are doing. So my rear hand, my reaction arm, is pulling back into this position. My front hand is moving forward into this position. Ready? Cat stance, knife hand block. Cat stance, knife hand block. Cat stance, knife hand block. Now do it all as one motion. 1, 2. Foot and hands, same time. You can slow it down a little bit. Knife hand block, go. Excellent. One more time. I breathe in on the load and out on the block, but you can do it any way you'd like. Excellent. Try the other side. Turning my right foot, getting into a left cat stance. You can step towards the screen if you wish. If it's easier for you to see, that's fine. I'm going to stay sideways so you can see what I'm doing with my body. Cat stance. This is not truly a cat stance because I've already turned my foot, so I'm sort of cheating a little bit. If I were doing this for real, I might start off in an angled foot cat stance and then straighten my foot as I land, but that's a little complicated. So I'm going to leave my foot squared off and get in my cat stance. My weight is directly above my right foot. My right hand is chambered, so it's out here, getting ready to pull back. My left hand is coming across, and it's turning towards my face. So as I block, I'm doing this motion. Ready? Sliding your foot forward, settling down into my back stance, knife hand block. Cat stance, knife hand block. Cat stance, knife hand block. One mistake a lot of beginners make is they keep their shoulders hunched forward. For this, it would be easier if you could see me here. So you've got this, you can see your chest thing. But when you do a proper knife hand block, your shoulders should line up with the block. So my hand is blocking my chest. You can just about see this reaction arm right here, still pointing at my opponent. Don't want it to be here. It's not this, it's that. Okay, so out to my side, one more time. Cat stance, knife hand block, cat stance, knife hand block, cat stance, knife hand block. Excellent. Let's do it as one motion. So it's going to be breathe in, breathe out. Go. 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 Full speed. Go. Excellent. Ow. When I do a proper back stance with my weight sitting on my back foot, this muscle right here gets kind of tired. So shake it out, stretch it out a little bit if you need to. All right. We're going to move on. The focus of today's class is going to be kata kicks. So everybody here has a kata, and most of the students, I have to learn not to talk while I'm adjusting the camera. So I'm going to start again. Everybody here has a kata, and most of the students are working on katas that have one kick or two kicks in them. If you are working on Kidsafe kata, then until you get to kata number 4, there are no kicks. Now, for those of you who don't know kata number 4, we're going to go over it. And then we're going to do in the Zoom class, we're going to talk a little bit more about the kicks in the traditional kata. Okay? So let's start off with kata number 4. Everybody here should know the Kidsafe kata. It's going to be, it's going to be Kidsafe kata number 1 is just going to be block, block, close guard position. So in class, when we do the kata, we turn. For obvious reasons, I want you to be able to see me. So I want you to stay facing your terminal, your computer, your device. So the way we're going to do this is we're just going to switch feet. Okay? So Kidsafe kata number 1, we bow first to our imaginary opponent. And I'm going to take a slight step back so you can see my feet a little better. Excellent. All right, let's try that again. Ready? Bow. Now, for those of you who this is really easy, I want you to concentrate on this first block, snapping it into place. And if you know two-handed blocks, do them. So two-handed high block. Good. Switching feet. So you can take a step back. If you have room to take a step backward, take that step. High block. Good. Now, you can cheat yourself forward. Close guard position. And I apologize, but I made a mistake. We're going to start that over again. Everybody take a step towards the camera. We are not going to take any steps backwards, okay? Because if we do it that way, everybody's going to run out of the room. But I want you to be able to keep doing the kata without running out of room. So we're going to step backwards and step forward on every technique. Let's try it one more time. Attention stance. Bow. And from the bow, step back to high block. And that's the only step back you're going to take. For everything else, it's going to be switch feet. Switch feet, high block. Step up, close guard. Good. Step back, inside block. Switch feet, inside block. Step up, close guard. Step back, outside block. Switch feet, outside block. Step up, close guard. Step back, lower block. Remember what I said, if you can do two-handed blocks, do two-handed blocks. Step up, lower block. So as my foot comes up, my lower block comes up. As my foot comes back, I do the other lower block. Good, close guard. If this were kata number 1, this would be where we bow and we'd be done. We're going to do that one more time together. I would like everybody, beginners, advanced students, and senseis, to concentrate on landing in a strong stance and having that focus point on every block. Ready? Attention stance, kata number 1, standing in one spot. Ready? Bow. 1, 2, switch feet. 3, step, close guard. Now, 3, switch feet. 4, close guard. 5, switch feet. 6, close guard. 7, lower block. Switch feet. 8, close guard. And bow. I know that didn't make a whole lot of sense, but it will as we do kata number 2 and kata number 3. Here we go. How many of you are noticing that as you're doing this kata, you're moving to the side? Anybody know why that is? Anybody want to hazard a guess as to why I'm having to correct myself and move back to the center of the frame? Well, if I take a step out and back, and then I switch feet, and then I step up, I have moved one stance over. Step out, switch feet, step up. So I'm having to correct that, and that's okay. Just make an imaginary box on the floor and stay in that box. Ready? All right, kata number 2. This one's going to be a little bit more fun because I want to see 2 focus points on every count. Ready? Bow. Kata number 2, stationary. 1, and kia. Now, as I step up, I'm going to load this block. 2, and kia. And step up to close guard. 3 is inside block. Kia. Step up. Oops, sorry about that. That was my mistake. From the reverse punch, switch feet. Reverse punch. Step up to close guard. Knees slightly bent so you have a stronger stance. Outside block. Reverse punch. Switch feet. Outside block. Reverse punch. Close guard. Lower block. You can bend your knees on this lower block. Both knees. Now push with your back leg. Reverse punch. Switch feet. Knees bent. Pushing with the back leg. Kia. Excellent. And bow. All right. I skipped a close guard. I'm indoors in a not so well air conditioned room, so I'm going to take a quick drink so I can speak. And we're going to continue. You're welcome to take those breaks anytime you need them. Checking on the chat questions. Yes, Chris says, I am moving side to side. Good. What you're really focused on is not so much your position on the floor, but getting into a strong stance on the first count. So it's knees bent. Also, you may have noticed that I'm doing my reverse punch a little different. If you are white belt, yellow belt, orange belt, then you're used to doing reverse punch like this. I have to move so you can see. Punch, block here, and then rolling your hips and pointing your knee forward, and that's fine. But if you're an advanced student, bend your knees on the first move, straighten your back leg and do your reverse punch in a forward stance if you can. Neither way is better than the other. They just have different uses. So everybody, I'd like you, if you're above the rank of orange belt, to do the reverse punch count of these katas in a forward stance. Okay, kata number 3. For those of you who are still learning or just about know kata number 3, let's review the pattern. We're going to get into a stance. We're going to do a block. We're going to do a counter with the same hand. We're going to do a reverse punch. So it's 3 counts per count, 3 steps per count. Let's try that again. So it's 3 moves per count. Again, we bow. 1, high block, counter, reverse punch. Step up, switch feet, high block, counter, reverse punch. Close guard, step back, inside block, counter, reverse punch. Switch feet, inside block, counter, reverse punch. Close guard, listen for the focus points. Outside block comes across and out. Counter, reverse punch. Switch feet, outside block, counter, reverse punch. Close guard, lower block, uppercut, reverse punch. Switch feet, lower block, uppercut, reverse punch. Close guard, and bow. That time I didn't forget the close guard. How's everybody doing? Good. Moving on. Kata number 4. Kata number 4 has 4 moves per count. That's why it's kata number 4. We're going to go block, counter, kick with the front foot, reverse punch. Let's try that again. I also have some comments, so let's see what we're hearing from. Chris Rubio says, well, that was fun. Not really sure what that means, Chris. You're welcome to put more comments in. Confusing, good, bad, okay. Kata number 4. Kata number 4, the pattern is block, counter, kick with your front foot, reverse punch. Block, counter, kick, punch. Before we move on, I want to mention for some students, practicing the counters just as a thing might be useful. So get in a side stance, knees bent, or a neutral stance, and just work on From my high block, that's my target. From my high block, that's my target. From my inside block, that's my target. From my inside block, that's my target. From my outside block, same target. From my outside block, same target. By the way, how many of you, don't answer, but you should be able to hear one focus point when I block and one focus point on the hammer fist, which is not easy to do from here to here. So if you noticed, after I do my outer block, I sort of reload just a little bit for the hammer fist. Outer block, and I sort of bring that fist out. Hammer fist gives me a little bit more snap on the hammer fist. Lower block, and the counter for this is turning your hand up, uppercut, lower block, uppercut. If you want, you can have a lot of fun just practicing that in a neutral stance. Just go through your blocks and hit your counters. So let's do 8 blocks with counters. Ready? Right hand first, high block, counter. Other hand, high block, counter. Next block, inside block, counter. Other hand, inside block, counter. Up right hand, outside block, counter. Other hand, outside block, counter. Lower block, uppercut. Lower block, uppercut. Excellent. All right, kata number 4. Now that we've got the blocks, the counters, we know how to do reverse punch. Sorta. We're going to do 4 counts. Block, counter, kick, reverse punch. And then we're going to talk about these kicks in other kata. So 4 kicks kata. Kata number 4 used to be known as the purple belt form. I used to require it for the purple belt test. I no longer do. We'll talk about why in a minute. Instead, it's an optional kata. And what we're going to do is practice block, counter, kick, and reverse. And we're going to do it all facing forward. In fact, you can think about an opponent attacking you and blocking, and then counterattacking with your hands just to get their attention up high, maybe blocking their head or lifting their guard. So block, counter. That's the point that's going to score. And then reverse punch. Ready? Bow. Sorry, attention stance, bow. High block, counter, front kick, kia. Now let's come up and do it on the other side. High block, counter. Load that front kick by getting in your cat stance, pushing your hips towards your opponent on the kick and keeping your balance so you can step down into a solid stance and turn those hips over for the reverse punch. Excellent. All right. Next one, inside block. Here we cheat. We do our inside block and we turn our hips over, lunging out to the side a little bit, just like we do doing those basics that we used in the beginning. Remember when we stepped out to the side? But now I'm actually inside block, turning my hips to lunge. So I'm sort of moving away from my opponent. Back fist, then get a guard up, roundhouse kick, landing in a diagonal stance, reverse punch. Let's do that on that side one more time. Inside block. As I block, I turn my hips over, back fist to my opponent's head, roundhouse kick to the mid-level, reverse punch. Again, other side, inside block, turning my hips towards my back foot, back fist, using this leg chamber, roundhouse kick, reverse punch. Bring your feet up, close guard position, and let's do the third one. Outside block, face front on this one. Because I want you to use this hammer fist motion to turn your hips. So my hammer fist turns my hips, knee up, side kick, reverse punch. Let's do that side again, right from this stance. Don't even bother rewinding. Outside block. As I do my hammer fist, my body turns to the left. I'm going to pick this knee up. It was my front foot, but the way I'm facing now, it's my rear foot. Knee up. I'm going to aim not to the front of the room or the camera, but slightly on an angle. Then I'm going to step back onto the line of attack, reverse punch. In the kata, we usually just face forward, which is probably better looking. Switching feet. Now I'm stepping back, leaving my right leg forward, outer block, turning my hips, hammer fist, picking my knee up, side kick, stepping into a diagonal stance, reverse punch. Fantastic. Feet together, close guard. Last one, lower block, Now, you have a choice here. When I first created this kata, we did this in our stance, and then we came back for the uppercut. One of the students about a year or two ago suggested, wouldn't it make more sense to do the cat stance with the lower block so we get out of the way? Yeah, I'm okay with that. Then advance on my counterattack, or at least be prepared to reach for this. Good. Low thrust kick. Stepping towards my opponent, reverse punch. Feet together, switching feet, lower block. Again, I'm not sure which way I like better. Lower block, uppercut, thrust kick, reverse punch. Excellent. All right. That's our 4 basic kata. Roshini says hi. Okay, hi Roshini. That's our 4 basic kata, kata 1 through 4. I want to draw your attention to kata number 4 for a second, okay? I want to point out something about the philosophy of Kidsafe, which is that we're not attacking our opponents. We are defending and counterattacking, which is a little different. So in Shotokan class, they typically start every class. I did Shotokan for 5 years, and every class started off with, the punches the same way we start in our Kidsafe class, because that's what I learned. And then the first kihon, the first basic move we always did was step forward with your right foot, garambarai, lower block. And then if we're going to practice kicks, we practiced it from that stance with our weight completely forward. And then we would either kick and step forward, or we would kick and step back into our stance. Yeah, not a great way to practice kicks in some ways. Also, that kick where I block here and I attack forward is a very attacking sort of philosophy. In Kidsafe, what I started by teaching was the idea of I'm always backing up. I'm always action stance. And then I'm countering, or then I'm using my feet to stop that person advancing towards me. So kata number 4 is very much about that. I'm defending myself, and then I'm countering with a powerful kick and a reverse punch. I'm defending myself. I'm defending myself. Outer block. Stop. Reverse punch. I'm defending myself. Outer block. Get away from me. Reverse punch. So that's something I want you to think about, but it's also, kata number 4 is a great way to learn focus, because if you can focus your kicks from the front foot, so let's get everybody in just a fighting stance, right leg forward. If you can focus your kicks from the front foot, then when you're taking that great big step forward, you'll have more power, but you'll have a harder time working on your balance. So this is more balanced than taking that step forward and falling. By definition, when we step forward, we lose our balance. So let's talk about traditional kata, okay? In Han 1, the first traditional kata that we teach, how many kicks are there? Go through the kata in your mind. Boom, 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 boom. Have you figured it out yet? Ah, that's right. The answer is none. There's no kicks in Han 1. Okay. In Han 2, the second traditional kata, how many kicks are there? Thinking your way through the kata. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 kick. Ah, here's a bunch of kicks. And then we do stepping forward front kick. Stepping forward front kick. So there are 2 different kicks. A side kick and stepping forward front kick. Okay. How many kicks are there in Han 3? The senpais are like racking their brains right now. How many kicks are there in Han 3? 1. Boom, 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 boom. Ah, there's one. Crescent kick. Actually, I think we're going to do the right kata. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ah, there, crescent kick. So there's only 1 kick in Han 3, crescent kick. You can go on and on and on, But each Shotokan kata basically introduces one kick. They just focus on the one thing. And most of the time in those kata, they're not kicking. They're either countering, stopping their opponent, or using the kick as a way to throw your opponent. There are exceptions. In Heian 2, this movement might be a kick, but when you think about it, you're too close to your opponent to do an actual kick. So if I do a middle block, I'm too close to my opponent to do a kick. Okay, so if you're practicing your kata, and here's what I want to talk about before we go. If you're practicing your kata, the way to get better kicks is to get better kicks. Wait a minute, what did he say? Yes, the way to get better kicks is to get better kicks. That means you cannot practice 27 moves and expect the one move that you often only do one time in the kata. There are exceptions, okay? In hand 2, you're going to kick twice. In hand 4, you're going to do a kick twice. You might do it twice, but it's only one move out of 20-something moves. And if you want it to get better, you need to practice that move as a movement, okay? Think about it. How many times did you do lower block before you ever learned a kata that had lower block in it? 100, maybe 1,000, okay? How many times did you do reverse punch before you ever did it in a kata? Many, many times. So if you want to get good kicks in your kata, you've got to work on the kicks as a thing. So let's just start off with the first kick in Heian 2. This is a great one to practice facing the screen. We're actually going to have an opponent to our side when we do this. So I want you to put your left leg forward and picture this. You've got an opponent here to your side, and his friend is coming from this direction. Or you've got an opponent here who's sort of on your dead side behind your shoulder where you're kind of safe from him, but your ability to attack him is not that great. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this motion. Okay, we're going to do a clearing arm. Okay, we're going to grab that opponent, and then we're going to step behind that person, and we're going to throw them to this direction. So that's the movement in Heian 2. We start off in a back stance. We move our back foot forward. We do a crane stance. We're going to do what's called cup and saucer, where we take our left fist and put it on top of our right fist. You will see me sometimes do this like this, where the saucer is flat, and sometimes you'll see me just stack my fists up, which is something they do in Ishinryu. It doesn't really matter to me how you do it, okay? So from here, I'm going to do a side kick at the same time that I do a back fist. This is actually a block, and this is actually checking the person who's coming towards me. I'm then going to step behind the person, grab them with both hands, and bring them around my body into a knife hand block. And that's the movement. Ready? From here, crane stance, cup and saucer. Side kick with a hammer fist. If you want to show off a little bit, you can try to make these parallel or horizontal, but I sort of like a low side kick. Back to my crane stance. Grab the person, step behind them into a back stance, sort of bumping them with my hips, and throw them to my right. One more time. From here, crane stance, side kick, clearing arm, throw. Excellent. One more time. Crane stance, side kick back to your crane stance. 1, 2. Grab with both hands, throw. I did it a couple of different ways, but they're all pretty acceptable. In the kata, I would then step forward with my knife hand blocks. Moving on, next kata kick. So there's a Easter egg hidden in Heian 2. Everybody put your right leg forward. Good. Do a left reverse punch. So in the kata, we're doing a middle block. But it doesn't really matter. Do a left reverse punch. Excellent. Now, take a step forward and do a front kick. As we step down, do a right reverse punch. If you have room, you can do another front kick. Ready? From reverse punch, front kick. Stepping down. If you're an advanced student and you know hand two, you can do the whole sequence. Middle block. Good. Pulling that fist in, pulling that hand in, kick. Whoops, my bad. Let's see if I'm doing this correctly. No, reverse punch. I was correct. Good. Middle block. So I am now left leg forward, left middle block. Bring your hands to your side. Kick. That was the mistake I made before. Reverse punch. Let's back up a stance. I have my right leg forward, my left hand doing a reverse punch. Middle block. Bring your hand to this side of your body. That was my mistake. Kick. Reverse punch with your right hand. Boom. Middle block. Bring your hand across your body. Kick. Reverse punch. Let's back up and do it again. What I like about this sequence is you can practice it all day. I just have this reverse punch out here. I'm going to use that left hand, do a left middle block. I'm going to kick, do a reverse punch, do a right middle block, bring it across my body, do a kick, reverse punch, do a middle block, bring it across my body, kick, reverse punch. Thought that would look good on the camera. All right, that is. Yes, I know. Thank you so much for the time check, Vijay. All right, let's bring in, and I did promise you a little bit of an announcement before the live feed ends, as that has just been pointed out to me. So I meant to do, first of all, I meant to do another set of kicks. So for the intermediate or advanced students, you might want to think about the crescent kick in hand 3. And you definitely want to think about, we practiced this last week, the side snap kick in hand 4. We'll get to that in the next group. All right, I said I was going to talk to you folks about Sensei Bobby chimed in with a really good question. It actually speaks to why I taught what I taught today. So I'm going to back up a step and speak to it. Sensei Bobby's question is, why don't... Yes, we are going to do the tournament. Thank you, Mr. E. Why isn't the kick in hand 2 more of a thrust kick to set up the reverse punch? That's a great question because the answer points out the Easter egg that's hidden in the kata. And I said I was going to mention it and I didn't. My mistake. Thank you, Sensei, for asking a really good question. So the answer is the kick doesn't set up the punch. The middle block or the punch sets up the kick. And what they're teaching you to do is if you've got this foot forward and you want to kick with this foot, if you keep this shoulder and this hip back, then you tend to fall back out of your kick. I'm going to do this way so you can see me. If my shoulders are behind my hips, even just one shoulder, then I tend to fall backwards out of my kick. And that's a bad habit a lot of karate schools develop because they keep doing kick, step back, kick, step back. And before long, they're standing like this. Very bad habit. So what's Heian 2 is designed to train you to do is, again, I'll face this direction so you can see, is before you can throw this kick, you need to commit that hip. And before you can commit that hip, you need to drop this shoulder and this hip into the technique before it. So when I do my middle block, my hip drops into the technique. And then my front snap kick comes straight up the middle. And that's what you're doing. Now, you wouldn't do a middle block to set it up in sparring. But if you notice, we talk about first combination in first inversion, where instead of doing kick, punch, punch, we're going to do punch, punch. And this punch sets up my kick. Same thing, but the Shotokan masters hid that in the middle of a kata. So instead of doing this motion and then kicking, they're using this arm, the reverse technique, to line up that shoulder and that hip with the front kick. And that's why it's done that way. So we do middle block, okay? And they exaggerate the load on the reverse punch too. They're pulling their hands back so our hips can fly forward on the last reverse punch. So that's the answer to Sensei Bobby's question, which is, in shorter format, the answer to her question is, the reason we don't do a thrust kick to set up the reverse punch is because we did the middle block to set up the front snap kick. So it's an attacking combination going right down the middle. That's my answer. Okay, so before we go, I want to talk about tournament. So I want people to start thinking about Kidsafe tournament. The way it's going to work is probably in June. We're going to put the word out to all the people who are doing online classes with us. Excuse me. We're going to put the word out to all the people who are doing the online classes with us, and we're going to ask people to submit videos and other evidence in certain events, okay? One of the things that we will do is an endurance event. So jumping rope or doing push-ups. The other event will be obviously traditional kata, where you're just demonstrating a kata. Another event will be open kata, and this is why I'm saying this now, is open kata is you get to make up your own kata, okay? And one of the things it will be judged on is technical merit, which means if you do a move just because it's cool looking, we might accept that. But if you do a move that's cool looking and that would get you killed, we might wonder about that a little bit. So you should be prepared to explain your kata. You're not going to have to in the tournament, but you might have to explain it to me. So we've got endurance, traditional kata, open kata. And we have several sort of fun events that we're contemplating. One of them is best home dojo. Okay, the other one is costume kata, where people are demonstrating their form or their fighting technique in a themed costume. So you want to see the Hulk do Hyun-tu, whatever you want to do. And we're still open to the idea of other events. But the reason I'm bringing it up is so that people can start working on their endurance and start working on if they want to create something, like create a kata or a costume. So that's your heads up. Kidsafe tournament online, beginning or middle of June. And that's what we're going to be doing. Are there any questions? Let's see how the chat is coming along. Okay, I'm going to wait the customary 4 seconds to see if there's anything coming up in the chat. And then we're going to click out of this live feed. I'm going to bow the group out. Ankush has no further questions. Ankush is like, no further questions, Your Honor. Thinking about being a lawyer, Ankush? You'd be a good one. All right, giving it 5 more seconds. All right. What's going to happen? Maybe. Good answer. What's going to happen is I'm going to bow this group out. I'm going to change gears. It will take me about 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes to change over from this monitor to the one I'm using for the Zoom class. So you get a little break if you want to get a water break or use the bathroom or, go watch a cartoon. No, don't do that. Go watch a TikTok is what I meant to say. A couple of things just to remind you before you go, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching these live feeds, you should be subscribed. Also, it's very likely that this Saturday group will be the only Kidsafe video after a while. I don't know if I'm going to continue doing Wednesdays all that much. I think I'm going to start to use Wednesdays as a taping day to tape some techniques and some workouts and some kata. Okay, so that's going to change soon, but maybe not this week. Any questions going once? Okay, I'm going to bow out. And 2 minutes to the live feed or 3 minutes to the live feed. Ready? Oh, excuse me, 2 or 3 minutes to the Zoom class, I should say. Everybody should have the Zoom link from Remind. Now, of course, since I stood up and backed up, now there are comments. Ms. Hughes, anybody can come to the Zoom. Anybody who wants to click over, because I'm no longer having 2 different ranks. But I will tell you that these classes, the live streams, are a little more geared for the yellow belts, and the Zooms are going to be a little bit more geared for more advanced belts. You're welcome to click in, and if you leave partway or if it's not for your kid, then that's up to you. I'm not going to be upset about it. There are some other Zoom classes I can recommend to you for a yellow belt if that's the case. I'm thinking about Chris. Yeah, check it out and we'll talk. Okay. So, thank you for attending Kidsafe Live number 13. We're going to bow out now. So let's come to attention. Take a breath. And we recite the student code. Take a breath. And we recite the student oath. Student oath. Strive to be our best. Settle for nothing less. Bow. I want to thank you for attending. And once again, as always, I want to say I hope you and your families are home and safe and healthy. And I hope that you're doing everything that you need to do to stay that way until we're all together again in class. Once again, I'm Sensei Chris. Thanks for joining us today, and I will see you soon.